Okay, so I'm thinking about the whole idea of the Big Brother concept. The idea of cameras watching you and computers monitoring your bank account numbers and your social security and your tax records and all the stuff that goes around in the computer systems that are being monitored by various um, governmental bodies, the IRS, the Secret Service, the CIA, whoever it is that monitors all that on a regular basis for whatever reason. The whole concept of it. Um, I'm not sure how much I really am paranoid about the idea. The idea of having chips in your, implanted under your skin, and all the conspiracy talk about Armageddon and the computerization of the world, and how you can, you know, worry, or how people talk about the negative effects of being monitored and watched all the time. There was a story in the news today about how they're talking about putting cameras in all cars that record your behavior during a drive, so they know what caused the accident or what you were doing up until the accident. I can see a positive side to that. Like, say if you're in an accident and you're not on your cell phone, and just driving along listening to music, and then some truck comes crashing in from the side and hits you. The camera protected you. It shows that you're not guilty. But then on the other hand, what if you were on the cell phone, but the same exact thing happened? Would they be able to just sort of take away your the right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe you can talk on the cell phone. I'm just ranting right now about all these things, but I'm just saying that I'm not really sure that I'm actually too worried about anything happening, like our rights being removed from us if they over computerize everything, and if they monitor your present position on the earth because you're carrying around a phone that has a Bluetooth or a GPS device built into it. So they know right where you are in the world. Okay, if I get lost in the mountains, they know where I am. It saves my life. But maybe I'm driving 78 miles an hour on the freeway, and they monitor my movement across the surface of the earth using the phone, so they give me a ticket in the mail because of it. And so they know I was speeding. They don't even need the highway patrol. They just know how fast I was going because my phone was in the car. So these are things that I'm not sure about. I'm not sure if they would ever legally do that. I can't imagine those things changing, but I can see the world changing gradually, where things sort of slowly happen and we sort of adopt them gradually. So, everybody has a cell phone, and we know that they can be tracked using satellites. So we're carrying around a tracking device on our persons without having to have an implant under our skin like they talk about aliens doing. I mean, we carry one willingly, right? So why do they need to implant anything? They don't need to do that. We're carrying it around. They know where we are. So, I mean, shit, the phone that I carry has my name attached to the account, which is linked to a computer at Apple and AT&T and wherever the fuck in the world that they keep track of all that stuff. So they know right where I am right now. And I get the occasional bill collector calling me about a late car payment, right? And I'm thinking, okay, are they are they gonna really try and impound my car because I'm a month late on the payment? I mean, is that really what they want to do? I mean, because they know that they're still collecting money from me, so there's this whole paranoia thing where I know they know where I am at all times, even though they asked me on the bill collection call, yeah, and can you please just verify your address for me again? I'm like, well, why do you need to verify my address every time you call? Well, we just need to make sure our property is still at the location we know it is. And so that there's all this hidden meaning behind what they're saying, and to keep me in fear, and it's like it's trained into these people. So I'm not sure what is going on in the world right now, but there's all kinds of weird talk. There's all kinds of weird behavior in normal every day-to-day conversation that we have. Nobody talks about reality. We're always talking about how it might be, or how we hear about it being, but we don't know how it really is. What's going on? What is happening with humanity right now? Are we changing into some kind of technically advanced society? Are we sort of merging with technology, like some technologists say? How we're actually going to eventually have computers implanted in our brains, and we're going to do this willingly, and it's going to enhance our brain power and our vision and our hearing and all this stuff? Is this going to be something that we want to happen, or is it going to be something that some people will do and some people will not, where they'll they're going to divide into a separate species. Juan Enriquez referred to it as the Homo evolutus, where the human species is going to divide off into the biological and the technological versions of itself, eventually, evolving into some to different specific species. I mean, it seems obvious that that could happen. We're right on the verge of it happening. So I just wonder what is really in store. I mean, there's all these little conspiracy theories thrown around about what the government really wants to do. People talk about the black budget and the Area 51 and the evil aliens, and they're all controlling everything from behind the scenes, and that's all obviously bullshit. But really, there's something. What is there? What is going on in the world? I wonder about the nature of reality itself. What is going on? Who really is in control? There can't really be anybody in control of the whole thing. There's no secret old white guy in a suit in some boardroom who really controls it from behind the scenes. There could be no such person. Even if the knowledge was available to really control everything, no one person could have all that knowledge. It would be too complicated. So there's no way anybody's in control of it. It's just all happening. So we have science progressing in one direction. We have various ideologies in the world, religions trying to take over the world and trying to bring on Armageddon. And there's all this chaos. Nobody's really talking about it. People talk about it in the news, but nobody really talks about it. You read about it in the news. Everybody individually reads it, and so they sort of know about it, but they don't talk about it with anybody really. Everybody just sort of has their own general understanding of reality around us. That like, okay, yeah, some people read the news, some people didn't. So some people know, some people don't, and nobody really talks about it. And people are always accustomed to arguing. They don't want to be educated about what's going on. They just want to have an opinion and defend their opinion. So there's no real detective work going on, and people aren't instinctively trying to figure out how reality is. It's just sort of we're just sitting here doing our jobs, waiting for things to happen, and we don't really know what's going to happen. It's all chaos. I mean, I don't understand why we can't just take control of it. I mean, I talk about it sometimes with my friends where I say, what if NASA, just for example, what if NASA had no budget, right? What if they had just blank check all the time, right? What could they build? What could they do? Like, if we could literally just say, fuck money, we don't need money. Let's just do whatever we want. I mean, let's just put everything we have into this one venture. We'll all talk about it. We'll all have a plan. All the smartest people in the world, and they'll get together. We'll write down this big, monstrous plan, forget money, and just do it. What if they were given all those resources and just let them do it? Like, what could they really do? What could they really build with the technology we have now? And we're always worried about money. Who's going to pay for this? But fuck that. Like, whatever money is exchanged, all we still have are the resources still on Earth, right? It's not like we can just sort of, like if there were no money, the possibility of things happening doesn't exist. I mean, we can build a bridge if everybody wants to build a bridge. So, no problem, right? But if we had this one big plan where, hey, we're going to, totally populate the moon with a new city, and it's going to be the most amazingly technologically advanced city ever, and now we'll have humanity on two bodies, and there's no chance that humanity will ever become extinct, etc. And so, I mean, like, say if we had no worries about money, then what could we really do? Because I really wonder if we're sitting in a situation now where we're just sort of, we know we're evolving, we always talk about that, but since we know it, can't we sort of take control of it? I mean, some technologists talk about taking control of our own biology and, manipulating our genes and curing diseases this way, and maybe even improving our race in some way. I mean, all this talk gets thrown around sometimes. Sometimes. But is anything ever going to happen, or is it always just going to be something in the news or on the horizon that we're worried about? When is something really going to happen that is going to transform everybody's idea about what real moral reality is, whatever that means? What's right? No, we're they talked about cloning humans being wrong, but when is somebody actually going to do it so we can actually discuss it happening? Instead of it always being science fiction, why can't we just make this happen? They always talk about these things, but come on, just make something crazy happen. So just change the world through some crazy idea. Some scientist out there who might be listening to this, just do it, please. Just clone humans. Tell everybody about it, and then face the consequences. You'll be able to write a book. You won't go to prison. Who's going to throw you in jail for that? So you're just going to be in the news. You're going to have to wear a suit and stand in front of cameras. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. All right, thanks for listening. Jeez.